Chapter 2. The Throne of Shadows and Incarnation. The kingdom of Agog did not fall in a single day. It withered, slowly, silently, like a tree poisoned at its roots. When the news spread that King Amaa had vanished and Prince Ikuku was lost beyond the heavens, a great silence fell upon the land. At first the people refused to believe it. The king will return. The prince cannot die. They are protected by the heavens. But days turned to weeks, weeks into months. Hope began to crack, and into that crack stepped a man who had been waiting in silence. Ikuku, the king's younger brother. Ikuku did not seize the throne with strength. He took it with words, soft lies, carefully woven. "The king is gone," he announced before the council of elders. "I was there. I saw it. The vortex consumed him." His voice carried false grief. The prince is lost beyond reach. The elders, shaken and afraid, had no proof to challenge him. Fear made them weak, and weakness crowned him king. But Ikuku was no king. He was a shadow wearing a crown. Within the palace, the queen refused to accept it. She stood before the empty throne, her hands clenched tightly, her eyes filled not with tears but with fire. "My husband lives," she said quietly. "My son lives." Beside her stood the young princess, Ikuku's sister, watching, learning, absorbing every word like sacred truth. "Mother, will they come back?" she asked one night, her voice trembling. The queen knelt before her, placing both hands on her daughter's face. "Yes," she said, "not as hope, but as certainty. The God of heaven does not forget his own." While the kingdom above fell into fear, the palace below became a place of prayer. Each night, long after the torches burned low, the queen and her daughter gathered in a quiet chamber. No priests, no rituals, only faith. They knelt on cold stone floors. "God of heaven," the queen whispered, "you who see beyond time, you who rule above kings, return what was taken from us." The princess would echo softly, "Bring my father home, bring my brother back." Night after night, no answer, only silence, yet they did not stop. Ikuku is crowned. Ikuku wasted no time. Once crowned, his true nature surfaced like rot breaking through skin. Taxes increased, then doubled, then tripled. Farmers who could not pay had their land seized. Men who resisted were beaten. Some disappeared, never to be seen again. Gold filled the palace, but hunger filled the land. Ikuku surrounded himself with luxury. Wine flowed endlessly. Strange women entered the palace at night and left before dawn. Music replaced wisdom, pleasure replaced duty, and the throne became a place of indulgence, not leadership. Fear becomes law. The people of Agog learned quickly. To question the king was to invite suffering. To speak of Amaa was to invite punishment. To mention Ikuku was forbidden. One old man dared to speak in the marketplace, "The true king will return." By nightfall he was gone. No trial, no explanation, only silence. Ikuku expected the queen to break, to bow, to submit. But she did not. She refused to call him king, refused to sit at his feasts, refused to acknowledge his rule, and for that, he punished her. Servants were taken from her chambers reduced, her influence stripped away. She was no longer treated as queen, but as a prisoner within her own palace. Yet even then, she did not bend. The young princess watched everything: the injustice, the cruelty, the lies, and the silence of the people. She saw her mother endure humiliation without losing dignity. She saw her kneel in prayer when no one was watching, and something began to grow inside her. Not fear, not weakness, but resolve. "If they do not return," she whispered one night, "then I will stand in their place." The queen looked at her. For a moment she saw not a child, but something greater, something forming. Beyond the palace walls, Agog groaned. Fields once full now stood dry. Families once united were broken. Warriors who once protected the land now served only to enforce Eku's will. Even the animals seemed to sense it. The land had lost its balance because the throne had lost its truth. A whisper in the darkness, but what Eku did not know was that his reign had not gone unnoticed, beyond the stars, beyond time, beyond the reach of his fear. Something had already begun moving. The fall of Amaa was not the end. The disappearance of Ikuku was not defeat, and the prayers whispered in the quiet chambers of the palace had not gone unheard. One night, as the queen and her daughter prayed, something shifted, not seen, not heard, but felt, a stillness, a presence, a promise. The queen opened her eyes slowly. Tears fell, but not from sorrow, from knowing. "They are not lost," she whispered. "They are being prepared." But what Eku did not know was that his reign had not gone unnoticed, beyond the stars, beyond time, beyond the reach of his fear. Something had already begun moving. The fallen king awakens, far beyond the world of men, in a place untouched by sun or moon. Amaa lay still. Then the light dimmed. A crimson haze swallowed the sky of the floating island, turning day into something unnatural. Mist crept along the ground like a living thing. The air thickened. Amaa coughed violently. Then his eyes opened. Pain gripped his body, but instinct forced him upward. As he steadied himself, his gaze fell upon something strange. 7 stones, massive, ancient, arranged in a perfect circle around him. Their surfaces were carved with markings that seemed to shift when stared at too long. "What language is this?" he muttered. "It is not a language." Amaa froze. "It is a map." The guardian of passage. The mist moved, not with the wind, but with intention. Amaa felt it before he saw it. A presence, watching, waiting. Then a voice cut through the crimson haze, calm, ancient, unshaken. "It is not a language." Amaa turned sharply, every instinct alert. "It is a map." Silence stretched, then the mist parted, and he emerged, tall, silver-haired, otherworldly. His eyes carried something no mortal could bear for long, time itself. "I am a cook," the figure said quietly. "The guardian of the metaphysical passage." Amaa did not lower his guard. "You speak my name as though you know me." Ekuk stepped closer, unfazed. "I know you fell from heaven," he said. "I know you lost your weapon." He paused. "And your son." The word struck harder than any blow. For a moment the king said nothing, then, barely audible, "My son." "You seek him," Ekuk said. "Yes." The answer came without hesitation. Then Ekuk spoke the words that shattered everything Amaa understood. "Then you must be reborn." For a heartbeat, silence. Then Amaa laughed, harsh, disbelieving. "A human?" His eyes burned with pride. "You expect me to believe that creatures weaker than I am can lead me to my son?" Ekuk did not react. "Is that doubt I hear?" he asked softly. "Or fear?" Amaa straightened instantly. "Fear?" His voice carried the weight of a throne. "I am a king, not merely a ruler of Agog, but a navigator of realms. I have crossed the universe itself." Ekuk shook his head slowly. "The universe may be a ship," he said, "but the living soul of that ship." He looked directly into Amaa's eyes. "Is humanity?" Amaa's patience snapped. "I did not come here for riddles." Without waiting, he stepped forward. Ekuk's eyes widened. "Wait." Too late. Amaa's hand touched the stone. The world split open. Dark energy exploded outward. The portal roared to life and swallowed him whole, gone, just like that. Ekuk dropped to his knees. The ground trembled under the force of his fists. "How inevitable, Amaa," he murmured. His voice was heavy, not with anger, but with knowing. Time passed, or perhaps it didn't. Then, movement, behind him. Ekuk froze. In one fluid motion he drew a golden knife. its blade glowing faintly in the crimson mist. "I did not expect another presence here," he said cautiously. "Spirit or flesh?" The shadow stepped forward. "It is me." Ekuk's breath caught. "Amaa." "That is impossible," he said. "I saw you enter the portal." The figure sat heavily on a nearby stone, breathing deeply. "You saw something," he replied, "but not the whole truth." Ekuk lowered his blade slowly. "What do you mean?" Amaa looked up. His eyes were different, quieter, deeper. "In Agog, there is a secret known only to the royal heir. A truth hidden even from the queens." Ekuk listened, carefully. "We are not one soul." A pause, then, "We are twins." The mist seemed to still. "The throne awakens two identities within us." He gestured toward the stone Amaa had vanished through. "My other self, the one you saw. Amaa Ogu, the warrior, the force, the storm." Then he placed a hand on his chest. "But Amaa Ike, the mind, the balance, the one who governs not by strength, but by wisdom." Slowly, Amaa Ike knelt before Ekuk. "I ask for your help. My son is lost. If my other self has failed," his voice lowered, "let the blame fall on me. I failed to prepare him." For the first time, Ekuk's expression softened. He stepped forward and lifted him gently. "You carry the heart of a true king," he said, "and I see truth in you." Ekuk pointed toward another stone. "That path leads to the human realm." Then his voice grew serious. "But hear this, Amaa Ike. The journey ahead will break what you think you are. You will face men, demons, and forces far darker than anything you have known." He stepped closer. "You will not only fight them, you will fight yourself." A pause. "Hold on to your virtues. They are the only thing that will guide you to your son." He leaned in slightly. "And to your true nature." Amaa Ike nodded. No pride this time, only resolve. He stepped backward, adjusted his robes, then placed his hand upon the stone. The portal opened, not with darkness, but with light, blinding, endless, and in the next moment, he was gone. Ekuk stood alone. The mist closed around him once more. The stones fell silent, and the island returned to stillness. He looked at the empty space, then whispered into the void, "May your virtues survive the human world." And he walked away and was covered in the mist.